Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast. And here's your host, John Chapman.
What is going on, faithful? It is so good to be with you guys today. If this is your first time joining us today, I want to say welcome. Excited about this because what we're going to be doing is just going through a play-by-play notebook from today's training camp. I got too many notes. A lot of this is thanks to this guy. What is up, RTP? He turned in this dude's so clutch. We're hanging out at training camp, and he's helping me spot players and all this stuff. And he was just Johnny on the spot. Absolutely, just good time hanging out as well. Such a good day out there. Faithful just showing up. Shout out to David, Brandon, and Kat. We got some awesome barbecue out there. Vicky was helping us out. Just had a great day. And excited to share as many and as much notes as I possibly can before I got to go pick my son up at football practice, which is. So I think we got plenty of time to get through this. This is going to be fun. Love all the hashtag CCs. This is awesome. The countdown crew coming into effect. God, this is awesome. So many awesome people. Matt, Celestial. We got Sin. What's up, girl? And the man 49ers Guru. If you guys have not followed Josh over on Twitter, you got to do it, man. This dude, he is crushing it. The 49ers Guru. Go give him. He is doing so much. If you have not started our 90-man roster series, it's 91 actually, because we have a roster exemption. Josh is the heart and soul of that over there. Lots of other people help, but Josh has just been killing it. Love all the hashtag CCs. This is what's up. And we start off, we're coming in hot. What's up, Phil? With the super chat, he says, hashtag CC, what's up with the Mike backup linebackers? Yeah, great question. It really does seem to be the way in which the Niners on defense, at least. Actually, no, I think this permeates offense as well. Vets are getting first crack, period. That's all there is. So your starters, the entrenched starters are what they are. But for the Mike position, for example, the backup Mike has been DFF, Demetrius Flanagan Fowles, almost every day. Now, Marcelino McCrary Ball's got some snaps there. You've seen Curtis Robinson get some snaps there, but DFF is getting first crack at that. Even if you look at the third linebacker position, the Sam spot, which I think tells a similar story, Oren Burks and DFF, those are the only ones that have gotten snaps with the ones at that same spot. Look at the tight ends. When Kittle's not in there, it's Dwelly, Fumagalli, and Warner. Those are the guys. Braden Willis and Cameron Latu, they're getting scraps. That's just the way this team is. Safety, same thing. You look at the safety depth chart according to practice rotations through a week and a half. You've got your starters, Huff and Gibbs. The third guy's not even the rookie, Jair Brown. The third guy is George Odom, who did get reps with the first team. Now, do I think George Odom's going to be ahead of Jair Brown? No. I think a little bit of this is just the culture and the plan in which that the Niners want to bring into the fold these rookies and guys who don't have a lot of experience. And, this is why Shanahan is a guy. This is why players follow Shanahan, because he wants guys that aren't going to mess it up. Yeah, the talent's big. The upside's huge. You don't mess it up. Do not mess it up. And so I hope that answers your question. I think it does. If not, just let me know. Phil, I'll get to your questions all the time. You're the man. He's such a good dude. Matt with the super chat. Thank you so much. He says, appreciate you, John. See you in Pittsburgh, baby. Yeah, I'm carrying this around with me everywhere I go. My 49ers Rush road trip towel. I ordered 250 of these bad boys, man. So we passing these out in Pittsburgh. If you're coming out, man, you're going to party with us. 49ersrushroadtrip.com. Get your tickets. I'm so pumped. And y'all are showing out. We had to call back the venue and ask for more space because We already got over 100 tickets sold, which is incredible. And just thank you guys. So excited about that. That game is going to be incredible. Dancing, what's up? Every time I see your AVI dancing, I think trivia winner because she won one of our trivia competitions that we did over on Patreon, I think. She won a jersey. So every time I see Danson's little AVI, I'm like, man, this person knows what's up. She says, hashtag CC. Loving these training camp breakdowns. I wanted to make it to camp this year, but couldn't get tickets. So this is the next best thing. That's the whole idea. The goal of today's show is to try to transport you to what is there. Because again, there's no clips. Yeah, during warm-ups, during individual drills, during special teams, sometimes you're allowed to film. But the majority, so like practice is 12 periods long. You can't film after 4. And the first 4 are stretching, warm-ups, alignment, where they literally take their helmet off and put it on the ground and just walk around and talk. You can film the non-exciting stuff, right? So trying to kind of bring that up. Right here, Josh, hear anything about Bill or Kalia? No, again, not getting a lot of team reps, which now that practice is continuing more so, it's a lot more team. And so you're getting your 1s, your 2s, some 3s, and they're nowhere on that list. Like Taco Charlton, who the 49ers just signed today, he got reps. You know, he got snaps in team and had a would-be sack, which was really, really cool. Which, you know, tomorrow, John and Wayne show is usually Tuesdays and Fridays. This week's going to be weird because training camp is Tuesday, Friday. So we're doing John and Wayne show tomorrow. There's no camp. It's the Niners day off. We're not taking a day off. And I'm going to be doing a show with Wayne in the morning at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I'm telling y'all this now because I don't think Wayne's listening right now. This team is being overrun with Michigan players, and I don't like it. I do not like Michigan. I do not like Michigan. I never have. I'm a Longhorn, and we beat them in the Rose Bowl, and I'm going to stick to that, but whatever. But, man, they just keep adding Michigan players. It's not a bad thing. I just don't like Michigan. That's okay. We'll break this down tomorrow with Wayne, and we'll see how he says. Right here, 49er Holic, how's your boy Q Knight looking? I'm pulling for the kid. He's doing well. The problem is, how do I say this? They're testing as many options as possible at that nickel spot. They have Isaiah Oliver. He's getting all the 1 reps. It's not even close. After that, it's Q Knight with the 2s. And then I think it's AJ Parker with the 3s. And they talked about Deshaun Jameson getting some slot snaps. They've talked Samuel Womack in the past has been there. Jair Brown was going through alignment drill 2 days in a row. Not today, previous days at the nickel spot. And so there's a lot of cats in the mix there. But I will tell you this. There's no stage too big for Q Knight. His pass breakup against Debo yesterday was awesome. He is the most energetic person at camp. He is constantly, you know, in between periods, which he, again, the first people that came out to practice today, Darrell Luter Jr., who's on the pup, so he doesn't get he counts, but while team's going on, he's just standing on the sideline in shirt and shorts. Talanoa Hufanga and Q Knight, those are the first, like, Knight is the first one out there in that group. He's staying for autographs every time. He's making people's days. Like, that dude just belongs on this damn roster. Will he make the 53? I don't know. He's not getting as much a chance as I would have liked him to. But, man, he had an awesome blitz today. Like, whenever he's out there, he's making plays. But he's not getting as much reps with the 1s as I would like to see if he does, quote-unquote, belong there. Because we don't know. But I'll tell you this, worst case is he's a practice squad guy. I mean, he's not going anywhere. So Mochi says, are you a Michigan State fan? No, I'm not. I just don't. I'm Texas, man. If Texas has played you guys, then I don't like you guys. And for a while, I think Michigan's ahead of Texas on the all-time wins. And so I hate them even more. So that's what's up, Tara? How you doing? Josh says, who was Moore's backup? Pryor? No. Pryor has been playing exclusively pretty much on the right side behind Colton McKivitz. I got a lot of Colton McKivitz stuff today that I want to get into. The backup over there on the other side is the UTSA kid who I freaking really, really like. And I think he's been playing pretty well. Not amazing, but you kind of look at, the strength in the body. You remember Leroy Watson, he was a tight end that they moved to tackle, undrafted free agent. They're high on him. Trent Williams is high on him. So he's that guy. That's the new backup. So we'll have to see what that looks like. Because, again, if you did not know, first injury at camp happened today. Jalen Moore goes down, holding lower leg, looked like a knee. I don't know. I saw Lombardi said something about a knee. I don't know. They were looking at the lower leg. There were people crowded around him. I couldn't see if they were doing an ACL check. Usually that's what I'm looking for. They helped him up. He walked to the sidelines. They put him on the cart. And then, and he kind of walked on his own, but it was gingerly. So I've not heard any official word on Jalen Moore. But he was the backup left tackle. We'll see. A big injury. I hope it's okay. I really, really do. We'll just have to kind of wait and see. That's what we want right there. What's up, Vince? How we doing, man? Oh, Terradorm, give me the props on the hat. What's up? This residency hat. I love it. JC, should the 49ers pick up OJ Howard? I like OJ Howard. I personally want to see what we have in the rooks. Now, again, spoiler alert, Cameron Latu is the worst player in camp so far. And I hate to do the negativity. He just continues to not do well at anything. He had his best block I saw during team today, and he was on the ground like a second. Like, he got a good block. The run went right off of him, and then he was on the ground. He got put on the ground. He just didn't have the balance. But the block was efficient. But it's like, I'm watching. I'm keying in on certain people. Today was hardcore Colton McKivitz and the tight ends, but only the rookie tight ends. I'm being kind of biased. Whenever I see Dwelly and Fumagalli and Warner out there, I'm like, okay, I kind of know what they are. I want to try to find somebody else to lock in on. And, man, when Latu's out there, I finally saw something that I liked in a block. And I was like, nice, good. He's on the ground. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, ugh. Like, you pull for everybody. I'm not rooting against the kid. Did I like him beforehand? No. Has he proven that he belongs? He has not. I really do think that is probably one of the most problematic plays so far during camp. You just got to wait on the switch, because if you don't hit that switch, then yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Any recent talk about Deshaun Golston or Gore being part of the team? Yeah, saw Golston out there today. He was working with the safeties, just offering a little bit, which was really, really cool. I haven't seen Gore out on the field yet. I've seen Gore on the sidelines. But again, both times were when I couldn't take pictures or video or whatever else. So they're around. It just the presence of that. Even Anthony Dixon, you guys remember Booby Dixon? He was around today, which was cool. He was signing autographs and interacting with a lot of the kiddos, which was cool. And so you love that atmosphere for these guys that left such a positive, imprint on what this team and culture is to be around. Because I like that. I like that a lot. So right here, John, any word on Kinlaw today? Beast. The dude's good. I hate where they sit us, because the one-on-ones for the O-line and D-line, when they're going against each other, it's just rough to see. And so the only way you can only see the clearly differentiated defensive line play, which means super tall Kinlaw, super tall Eric Armstead. Outside of that, half the reps, you're like, man, I can't see who that is. Because all the players line up behind them. And so where we're at, you have to look through a whole myriad of defensive players standing there, and then you have to see the play behind them. But when Kinlaw or Armstead step up there, they're so damn tall. It's like, yep, that's who that is. And Kinlaw just running through people. So yeah, he's killing everybody. Just, yeah, Matt was there. RTP was there. He's killing everybody. So fun stuff. Now, if you got more questions, we'll get to them. But I want to jump into it's note time, baby. It's time for class. Get your pen and paper out. Let's do this. Let's see what we got. Oh, what's up, Debster? She says, happy for Kinlaw. I'm happy you're here, Debster. Every time I see your name, I get happy. All right. So let's go. Just during alignment drill, this was the very first time that it wasn't just random alignment. It seemed like they started implementation on the Raiders for the first time today. So it typically defensively, that's mostly what I'm talking about here, because defense is always reactionary to the offense and their alignment. That's just the way. You can't get around that. So usually what happens is you have the ones on this side going against scout team alignment stuff, and it's just how to line up. They break the huddle with the scout team kids and whatever else. Not kids, but most of them are like college-age guys just in shirt and shorts, and they break the huddle, and then they make their calls, whatever else. And so you got the ones on this side, and then you got the 2s and 3s on this side, and they're just mirrored, and you're trying to do that. Today, they didn't do that. Today, what they did was got the huddle, broke the huddle, and it's just the ones. And so new looks, and again, some of the formations were stuff we didn't run. So my assumption is that's Raiders stuff. And so they're starting to teach and like, hey, this is how we're going to play against the Raiders. It could be week 1 stuff against Matt Canada and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't know. But that's what they were doing, which was really, really cool. So some things that I saw today, Kerry Hyder for the first time in camp, and I don't like it, but I understand it, was playing defensive tackle. And if you watched our 30 or 90-man roster series on him that we just broke, if you're an audio listener, that'll be coming out this weekend. But one of my favorite things so far in camp is that he's back to playing his normal position. He looks like 100 times better. He's a defensive end. He's not a defensive tackle. Daryl Johnson was with the number 2 defensive ends. He's had a hell of a camp, back-to-back good days. Taco was out there at defensive end as well. So I'm curious with the 2s in alignment. How much of that is just catching them up? Was Taco's, signing, pushing Kerry Hyder inside? These are things I don't know, and we're just going to have to see. Is Kerry Hyder's now permanently a defensive tackle because of the Taco addition? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But these are things to look forward to, and I'll keep watching for you guys. Jack Coletto and Corey Luciano and Drafted Free Agents, they did the WWE breakdown for the fans to get everybody pumped up. And you could totally tell that 1, they rehearsed it, and 2, the coaches said, go easy. If you get hurt, we're cutting your ass. And because they were like ultra careful with each other, but it was cool. During special teams drill, that's just a lot of just dummy work and whatever. Tay Martin showed up again today. Like, I'm watching over here and I see a burst and I look over there and I'm just like, who the hell is going that hard? It's number 86, wide receiver Tay Martin, every day. It makes sense why the fight involved him. That's all I'm saying. The dude is going so damn hard. And during special team period, which was a 10-minute period today, everybody's working their own stuff, except for Steve Wilkes, the new defensive coordinator, Diamador Lenore, and Charvarius Ward. Those 3 were together for 10 minutes straight, just them 3 working little intricacies on lots of different things about cornerback play. And it's been this way pretty consistently, but man, it was just awesome. Steve Wilkes, I put a couple of the videos, and I think Eric put one up on Instagram as well. But if you go check my Twitter feed at JL_Chapman and just scroll down, you'll see a lot of these videos. I can't play them on here because the music that they're playing during the whole time, and to shut the YouTube down. So I can't do that. I tried doing that one time, and yeah, I got a warning from YouTube. Like, hey, you can't do that. So anyway, that is there. Now, then they go into one-on-ones, and this is where I'm going to start reading my play-by-play commentary, and I'll check in with the chat. So if you guys have questions, I'm going to speed through the one-on-ones. Before I get to team, I'll stop and get back to the chat. So if you have questions, please let me know. So let me just set up the one-on-ones. Offense and defense comes to the field closest to us. You've got all skill guys and quarterbacks right here. And then off in the end zone is all D-line, O-line. Again, my perspective for the O-line, D-line is just rough where I am located. But very clear with what's it called? The ones versus ones. And I did not pay attention to quarterback play during the one-on-ones. I was focusing on the wide receiver and the defensive player. That's what I cared about. So here we go. Very first play, and I love this. CMC versus Warner, baby. That's how you set the tone. That's how you set the tone. CMC kind of gave him a stutter step, dead leg, crossed Warner's face with ease, which Warner's one of the best in the NFL at not allowing that. Super easy reception. And, the theme has become, if you could just get close to Christian McCaffrey in this drill, it's a win. And Warner was close, but nobody can touch this dude, not as a wide receiver. And I said this when CMC came out of college in my draft notes. If he was just a wide receiver, he would be a second-round pick, minimum. Like, he's that damn good. And you watch those routes, nobody could touch him. Nobody could touch him. Mitchell, he beat DFF on an out route, which Mitchell had a lot of catches today. I liked. Dwelly had a contested catch. He caught it. He pulled that down with Huff. Huff is not giving up space to anybody. And the way that they do it is safeties go against tight ends and running backs. Corners go against wide receivers. That's kind of the way that this drill works. But Hufanga going against, running backs and tight ends, that dude is clamping people down. Now, Kittle had a catch against him yesterday, and Dwelly had a catch against him today, but they are the toughest. You're talking level 10 difficulty catches, and as soon as they catch it, the play's over with. Like, no yak whatsoever. Huff, defensively, I think he's had the best camp so far. I really, really like. He is that damn good. Kinlaw's catching them. Warner's in the mix as well. But the best player defensively on the 49ers field consistently through camp, it's been Talanoa. No doubt about it. Charlie Warner, nice contested catch versus Taylor Hawkins. Marcelino McCrary-Ball, very, very good against TDP on a deep ball. It was overthrown. But, man, McCrary-Ball's speed is there. That's one of the things that was kind of a concern. It's like, man, he's undersized, but you see him and he's freaking jacked, and his 40's not the best. But he flies around at a different speed. I wish I had the GPS track data because Marcelino McCrary-Ball would be one of those that pops. I guarantee he plays quick. CNC versus Jalen Graham, good coverage, but still a catch, and it was easy for CMC. Latu, best play of camp for him, makes a double move and against Odom and caught it. But so there you go. That was the best play that I've seen. Like, there were two positives today for Latu. One was the double move and caught it against Odom. The second was a block, but then he fell down. But I'm trying my hardest not to just tear a player apart. Like, as a coach, I would always tell my guys, like, look, if somebody's pissing you off and they're not good, it doesn't do good to keep piling. I don't think Latu listens to this. Maybe he does. And if he does, I'm pulling for you, man. But I'm trying to find positives. I want a nuanced approach on something to take away. I don't know if that's the right approach or not, but that's just kind of the way I always taught my coaches and how I felt about things. Mason toasted somebody, and it was bad. Everybody went crazy. Jordan Mason, Elijah Mitchell have upped their receiving game completely. I didn't know who it was, though. A lot of the players are tucking their jerseys underneath their shoulder pads, and you can't see their numbers. And so a lot of times it's like, I don't know who the hell that is because you can't see them. You can't see the number. They got their helmet on, and it's just like, I don't know who that is. I don't know who it is. Let's see here. Braden Willis, decent option route, contested catch. Nice. Came down traffic. Every single catch that Braden Willis makes, it's contested catch. He's just not a separation guy, but man, he's tough at the catch point. Hawkins, blanketed Dwelly, no catch. Then I look over, I start watching Kinlaw, got a couple wins in a row, which was awesome. Then I go back to because again, it's frustrating because I can't tell who's winning what. So I went back to the skill guys. Latu looked really, really slow versus Jair Brown. It was overthrown, but man, it was bad because the pass happened and everybody in the stands, you heard like three people in a row go, that dude's so slow. Like, it was bad. It was visually just didn't look right. Good coverage. Willis, another contested catches right after that. Mason, great pass pro. So then they did a couple reps where a linebacker would blitz and the running backs would have to stop him from getting to the quarterback. And Mason, it was awesome. It was a really, really good rep. So, looking at that was kind of the end of the one-on-one period. And so things I walked away from, obviously CMC's great. Huff's great. If I'm looking at players that stood out, Elijah Mitchell and Jordan Mason continually do so. Braden Willis, just tough as hell. We knew that. That's who he is, the tight end that we got late. He's tough and he just catches whatever's around him, but he's not generating space whatsoever. But anyway, that's what we saw today. Now let's get to some questions. Let's look at this, and we'll jump to team next up. Right here, Matthew. Yeah, great seeing Dixon. That dude is, yeah, it's awesome. Goldston being there is awesome to me, says Josh. Yes, absolutely love that. Josh, here Jimmy G and Max went at it. Yeah, Max plays dirty, man. If you watch that quarterback thing, he plays dirty. I really likes Max Crosby, to be honest with you. I think he's a damn good player. Whenever I see people compare him to Bosa, I chuckle because Max is great. There's so many good players. Like, I think Max Crosby is the top 5 defensive end in the NFL. Like, that's how great I think he is. But nah, man, keep my DN's name out your mouth. I hope he's my defensive end. Like, I really wish he'd sign. I really wish Bosa would sign soon. Okay, here we go. Let's see here. How's Jair Brown doing? He's doing well. You know, they're playing him alignment a little. They're introducing nickel to him, but man, he's different. He looks good. He looks really, really he looks really good. Tommy, what is the deal with Mooney? Not much. Like, what happens is the 49ers give different vets and these guys that have been through camps and, you know, or whatever. You don't push them in team. They've proven who they are. So they get their reps and you slowly bring them in and things like that. I don't think that that's an issue at all. It's just, it's what it is. Wilkes working hard with working hard starting too. Yeah, I think so. That's exactly well said. I didn't read that correctly. Those 2 corners, he's investing a lot of stuff in them. That's all we do. Pete says, man, we don't need Taco Charlton. I'll say this. Let me pull this stuff up because they announced this as soon as I got to the stands. I haven't had a chance to really look into anything. You know, he had drafted in 2017 in the first round to the Dallas Cowboys. He's had a long career, but he's 6'6", 270, which is the Niners don't have that. I'm just going to be honest. And you see him, and it's like, yeah, that dude is 6'6". He's played in 60 career games. He's got 11 and a half career sacks. He hasn't started a whole lot. He's only got 13 career starts. He's a situational pass rusher. That's what he is. I knew the 49ers would add an edge at some point. I'm not excited about this. I don't know what the numbers are. I don't know what it is, but he brings a lot of experience, and he's a situational pass rusher. The longer Bosa took, you need bodies. You need bodies because Drake Jackson and Cleveland Farrell, they're getting work. They're getting so much. So what's up, Applesauce? How you doing, man? I love seeing that. Hashtag CC. It's awesome to see you, man. Does Latu need the doghouse or a Warner Frankenstein? He needs confidence. You know, I believe in the talent. I understand what the Niners saw. They saw potential and development. He's got to believe it. You know, my biggest issue with with Latu is body language is bad. Reminds me a lot of McGlinchey stuff. You guys remember McGlinchey after a bad thing happened? And this kid's young. He was playing defensive end 3 years ago. He just got to get some confidence, get some good reps under his belt. And, you know, doghouse would be bad for Latu because he's putting himself in his own doghouse, and that's not good. You got to play with confidence. And so, yeah, we'll have to see that. Womack, Matthew we started calling him old man Womack. Womack's hilarious because he just stands like an old man, and he's got like old man like facial expressions. He's just like, I mean, he's playing very, very well. He's fighting whenever he's out there. But during alignment drill, which happens right in front of us, they all take their helmets off. And man, he just sits there like just old man posture and old man face. Not that he looks old, but just like I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but it's interesting. I'll say that. Shane, I really want to know how Hargrave's doing. 2 things. The most double-teamed player so far through camp is Javon Hargrave. The offense is focusing so much on him when it's one-on-ones. And, you know, that's what's going to happen. That's just what he's going to do. So if he's in a right shade, you know, right on the center, right shade in a one technique, 2-eye, it doesn't matter. He's getting double-teamed. I wonder if that would be the case if Nick Bosa was out there. Because, you know, Hargrave's going from a defensive line that had 5 guys, you know, 4 guys over double-digit sacks, and he was the most double-team player there. Then he comes here, And look who he's playing next to. Yeah, Eric Armstead's great, but not a high sack guy. He's only had double-digit sacks once in his career. Drake Jackson, unproven. Cleveland Farrell, unproven. It's interesting. So he made a couple plays in the run game, some run stuffs, and he's pushed some guys back into the quarterback. But the offense has clearly stated we are not allowing Javon Hargrave to kind of step up and shut things down. And they've made a conscious effort to stop him. And I would say it's worked relatively. Not gonna lie. So real quick before I jump into my team notes and get to some more questions, I got 3 more pages to go. Good Lord. Man, this is fun. Hopefully you guys are having fun. If you're going to any Niners games, come hang out with us. Going to 49ers games is awesome. But what's even better than that is going to 49ers games with the faithful, joining the community. And we got you covered. The 49ers Rush Road Trip is going into its 4th year of bringing the faithful together. Night before parties, tailgates the day of. We got you covered. Go get your tickets at 49ersrushroadtrip.com. All right. Here we go. Shout out to Phil. He says, how is Nick Sikel doing? Not doing well. I'm going to be honest. The center snaps has been problematic. Some not good snaps, some fumbled transitions. But Trey Lance stayed after with him today to get some extra snaps, which was nice to see. Sikel seemed to be the number 2 center to start camp. Now it seems like John Feliciano has kind of taken over that role, which Feliciano was playing guard early. I think the first 3 or 4 days of camp. Lately, he's been back at that center position. So not a good start for Nick Sikel. I'm going to be honest with you. I wish I could spin it a better way because I love that kid. But if he doesn't get this fixed, he's going to be moving back to guard. It's just what it's going to be. And if he does that, the Niners are deep there. Now we're in problem territory. Not that I think they're going to give up on him, but he's struggling with the snaps. Dance and John, any guess to when Bosa's contract will be done? I guess last Friday, and I was wrong. Vicky, who's like my sister, she's incredible. Vicky Fabulous, she's great. She's responsible for so many content creators being there, which is so cool. She said that she thinks it's going to get done Dwight Clark Day, which is Monday. So I'm going to go with that. She's a smarter lady than I am. That's not saying much, but she is much smarter than I am. Let's go with Dwight Clark Day. So next Monday, that's what I would like that to be. So we'll see there. All right, let's jump into some more notes. I got a lot here. All right. The rotation at team goes 1s, 2s, 3s. 1s, 2, 3s, 1s, 2, 3s. But it's a little weird because there's a Brock Purdy day schedule and there's a non-Brock day schedule. When Brock practices like he did today, it goes 1s with Brock, 2s with Trey, 3 with Brandon Allen. Then the second rotation, 1s with Brock again, 2s with Darnold, 3 with Brandon Allen. And then it just reverts back and forth. So you've got Trey and Darnold getting a lot of reps when Brock doesn't play, and you have them getting very few reps when Brock does play. Brandon Allen snaps are the same, and I think that is worth criticizing. I don't like it. Not that Brandon Allen's bad, but it's like, come on, man. You got these 2 quarterbacks that are getting fewer reps than him, half of practices. That's problematic. We'll see how long that goes. But I digress. So Brock Purdy comes out, gets 4 plays. Okay, here are the 4 plays. Hargrave and Armstead blow up inside CMC run. That started team. Trent false start. Trent Williams, who had the day off, he false start second play. Brock to IU, quick out, 6 to 7 yards. Colton McKivitz, nice block versus Drake, CMC 3 yards. Would have got the first down, but they're not moving the ball that during that period. 2's come in with Trey Lance. Trey missed Kittle on a quick out. It was a bad pass. Didn't like it. It was a boot and just a quick, Y arrow. Overthrew him. And it was so frustrating. Yesterday, Purdy did the same thing to Debo. Today, Trey did the same thing to Kittle. And so I was like, bad start. Inside 2-yard run, Marcelino McCurry ball blew it up. I didn't see who ran it. I think it was TDP. Next up, TDP, 4 yards inside hard run. dude was running harder today than I've seen, which I liked. Then they go to threes. Brandon Allen comes in at quarterback. And another thing that's important to understand, whenever I say ones, twos, and threes, the only things that match are the offensive line and the quarterback. Running backs, wide receivers, tight ends on a completely different rotational schedule than the offensive line and quarterbacks. Okay. So whenever I say ones, that's your starting offensive line and Brock Purdy. Twos, backup offensive line and Purdy or Lance. Threes, guys you're working in. And so, and the threes aren't always the same either, because they'll phase in different threes that didn't get snaps earlier. So that's another thing and I think a common misconception is you see Trey Lance out there with Debo, always working with the ones. You see Trey Lance out there with Daz Newsome, always working with the threes. That's not the wide receivers are on their own. They're their own universe, if that makes sense. Same with the running backs, because it doesn't work 1, 2, 3. And that's high school football. That's college football. That's NFL football. So I digress. Brandon Allen with the threes. Mason, 3 to 4 yard run. Latu, decent block, but fell down. That was that one play I was mentioned. Next up, Tay Martin, deep crosser first from Allen. Very nice protection from the threes. Next up, Latu, false start. They didn't call it, but he jumped. 2 yard inside run. Brock and the ones come back out. CMC, 6 yards on an awesome cutback. McKivitz, great block. Sealed the edge, allowed the cutback to come back through. Next play, still the ones. Crossover to Debo, great protection. Huge first down. McKivitz clean and pass pro. This was the time where I was like, I'm going to pay attention to McKivitz. Next up, twos, Darnold come in. TDP, nice stretch and vision, 10 yards, which I love seeing. I said on yesterday's show that I really thought TDP was way too quick on the cutbacks. And so, like, I was like, man, he's got to press outside. And good Lord, I'm pretty damn sure somebody said that in tape watching or film, because today he didn't do it once. They basically told him, don't cut back. I don't give a damn. Press the edge. It's exactly what happened. And I wrote next to this, best TD play in camp so far as running goes. I really like that play. Next up, Mason, tough 5 yards up the middle. So tough every play. Brock's back out with the ones. Burford, false start. Armstead put him on the ground. Yeah, he did the trigger thing. Burford did, and Armstead just and so he does like the tipple topple over that you always see whenever the defensive lineman get that free shot, which I chuckled. But I don't know, maybe it wasn't funny, but I thought it was awesome. All right, where are we at? I lost my spot. Next play, Debo quick screen. Would have been no yards because Cleveland Farrell read it to a T. And so he was the play side defensive end, pass rushed, retraced, was right on top of Debo. It was really good play from Cleveland Farrell, who, let's be honest, getting a lot of snaps, not seeing a lot of pop, but that's not who he is. He's more of a Samson Ebukam, just solid, does his job. He's not explosive. That's not what he did, but I thought it was a good play. Demo almost had a pick against Brock, but it was a Hufanga holding call. Hargrave pushed Banks back right in front of the quarterback, which was awesome. That was it was a crazy play. And if you're just looking at the throw, it was not a very good throw. It was not a smart throw, but the penalty kind of, waved it, and it wasn't a pick. So he dropped it. So it's what it is. Darnold comes back out with the twos. Hits Debo over the ball. I made a point about this. Darnold, best throw. Every day in camp, he's hit at least one, is the over the ball route. And what that basically is like there's lots. You layer your routes, right? You have like your short to intermediate, short routes, intermediate routes, deep routes. Darnold's vision, he loves looking right on top of the ball. And so he has hit these routes with consistency in team nonstop. Those over the ball routes. Like, he likes the middle of the field. It was also played to Debo. Might have got like 5-7 yards. It's just kind of a curl, but that's kind of his comfort blanket. Like, whereas you look at Brock Purdy, whenever things aren't his way, he's hitting the flats. That's when Darnold's reads don't go well, he's right over center. And so it's just interesting finding these comfort zones for quarterbacks. Where's Trey Lance comfort? It's in his legs, right? Things aren't going well. All right, I'm running. Darnold, things aren't going right. Dump it down over the middle. Brock, things aren't going well. Flats. And so you start to get these intricacies. I'm going to mess up this word. Just different ways in which these Niners have intricacies. Somebody help me out. Good Lord. Thank you, Texas. All right, here we go. Next one, grounded in front. This is Sam Darnold. Grounded in front of Dwelly versus the blitz. I mean, short hop the ball to him, just terrible throw, but he got it out, wouldn't have taken a sack. Mitchell on the delay, big gap for 8+ runs. Then Allen and the threes come in. Deep out to Ayuk on the sideline. Looked off easy, check down to Jack Coletto, the fullback. Hit the flats. And I was like, hit Coletto. And Brandon Allen got greedy. Like, had the easy check down right in front of him. He said, nope, bloop. Dropped it in the bucket to Debo. It was a hell of a play. Might have been one of the deepest pass plays of the day for any quarterback. Ran up the middle versus the blitz for 2 yards. The stop was Jalen Graham there. Sack, short hop to Debo. So, again, whenever I say sack, nobody's touching the quarterback, but he probably would have been sacked. And then they're allowed to roll out and throw the ball anyway to get the wide receivers and DBs work, which is smart. But like the crowd goes crazy, and I'm like, that's a sack. That ain't gonna count. Almost done with first team. Brock comes back in, and Drake Jackson gets a sack. Greenlaw dropped a pick 6. McKivitz gave up a sack on that one. So worst play by McKivitz. And what happened was would have been a sack, but Drake Jackson runs behind him. Brock Purdy still throws it. And Greenlaw dropped a pick 6 cutting across. So it was just bad on bad. How did he respond? Here we go. CMC 10+ yards right behind McKivitz's block. So McKivitz gives up a sack. Very next play, great block. 10+ yards for CMC. Trey goes out there. I got to start on this one. Perfect stop route to Ayuk. Blanketed. Awesome coverage. Ayuk just runs this kind of stick nod route and then just kind of turns around. And as soon as he turns around, that ball is just right on his armpit. And this is like Trey Lance rifle pass. Like if you don't catch the ball will catch you. But it was just like, ooh, because there wasn't a window. It was just boom. He put the ball right where it needed to be. Looked amazing. Ball placement was perfect. Awesome catch from Ayuk despite 0 separation. Trey Lance jump pass to a screen to TDP. The first called screen that I have seen for Trey Lance all camp. First one. We're 2 weeks in, baby. But finally, so like that was the last play to end first team reps. It was the TDP, would have went for 10 yards easy. It was set up perfectly. And, Trey Lance kind of stepped back and did like the jump pass over the defensive lineman. It was beautiful. It was awesome. And so if you're one of those people that's like, man, why won't Kyle give Trey these easy plays? I'm with you. This was the first one I saw. And so it was nice. Now, will he ever call one to CMC when Trey's in there? Yeah, we'll see. All right, let's get to some more questions. Logan, Danny Gray better prove he belongs this year. He's had a good camp. He has had a good camp. I really think he's been playing well. Now, is he separating himself from the other 5, 6, 7, 8 wide receivers outside of the clear-cut guys? I don't know. That's rough. That's rough for me to kind of say that. Right here, tight end is really hard in this offense. It is. It's terrible. Like, even if you look at, Mike McDaniel, whenever he went down to Miami, Gesicki couldn't do it. He had to leave, right? You look at the Jets, they've had a whole bunch of guys in there just not working. It's hard. It is difficult. It really, really is. And, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Right here, Mark, is doubling Hargrave allowing anyone else to get pressure? Yeah, it is. It's hard because you cannot get close to the quarterback. Kerry Hyder did it yesterday, and they changed his position today. So I think they sent the message pretty damn loud and clear. Kerry Hyder got in front of the quarterback, and then they moved to a defensive tackle, which I'm pretty sure that's not where he wants to go. So, yeah, it's tough. The best time to evaluate pressure is going to be in those preseason games. So, pads are awesome and contact's great. You're not going to get the full story until it's somebody else that you're allowed to hit. So we just got to wait. Yeah, so you just got to wait on there. Let's see here. Do you think Taco Charlton's middle name is Bell or Tuesday? I bet it's Bell. Taco Bell Charlton just rolls off the tongue. I like that. His first name. Oh my God, this is awesome. I'm gonna mess this up. Dante. Yeah, Vidante Charlton is his name. And so he goes by Taco Vidante. Vidauntae. Vidante. I think that's how you pronounce it. Man, that's awesome. I did not know that. There we go. But yeah, I wish Bell was the middle name. That'd be awesome. George, what's up, man? We get greatness in the chat today. Hey, John, purchased my Monday Night Football at Vikings tickets yesterday. Yes. Man, anytime George is in the house, not only am I going to have a good time, everybody else is. This dude's the kindest dude out there, one of the executive producers of the show. Thank you, George. Excited to see you again, man. Just makes me smile. Just such a good dude. Bring those cigars, man. Bring those cigars. Let's see here. Reginald on Facebook. How are things? 49ers faithful supporters and purchase. I love it. What's up, guys? We got 49ers Jim Rome. That's coming from different people now. That just keeps building up, and I like that. Coach Cruz, which offense and defensive position group is going to be the toughest to make the 53? Linebacker, you're cutting so many guys. Linebacker for sure is the toughest for me to like. You look at the defensive ends and it's like, man, yeah, you're going to keep 5 or 6. We know who those are. Defensive tackles, yeah, some guys are, stepping up, but we know mostly those guys. I have no clue who the hell the linebackers they're going to keep are. No clue. Cornerback, Sean Jameson messing stuff up. He's playing so well. Ambry Thomas is having a good camp. I don't know what that looks like. I don't. Meanwhile, you got freaking Darrell Luter Jr., who's this jacked up freaking corner rookie draft pick that everybody likes. He's sitting over there on the pup. Every day before practice, he's out there working his ass off. I understand knee bruises are different, and I'm not saying he doesn't have it. You see this guy walk out. I put I put clips out there every damn day. I don't know how injured he is, but I think that's one of the things where Shanahan just gets sneaky. Yeah. How do you feel about Robert Bill Jr.? Haven't seen him much. Just going to be honest. Haven't seen him much. Not that he's not out there, but the defensive line is way off in the corner, and he's not getting a lot of team reps. So I think they're slow playing him too. Not that he's not going to make the roster. That's not what I'm saying at all. They're not getting, rooks aren't getting the cracks at team snaps. It's just not happening. It's not happening. And I think that is by design. Now, at some point, that's going to start to shift because those rooks are going to get a lot of playing time once it comes to those preseason games. So we just got to kind of wait and see, I think. I think that's the way it's going to be. And yeah, right here, Jameson going to make the roster, period. I cannot find a way that Jameson's not on this team. I'm sorry, I can't. They're finding spots for him. He's going to start playing at nickel, John Lynch said. Like, that kid belongs. He belongs. That's all there is. And Ronnie Bell running Chris Pratt. Ronnie Bell looking good. Ronnie Bell looking really good. So that's what's up. All right. Now, the team comes out and does a really quick second team drill. So they take a break. They all go back individually, work on a couple of small things, chill, light work. Come back in and maybe got, I don't know, maybe 15 more team reps in. So here we go. Here's team number 2, team set number 2. Brock in the ones. Mason up the middle, 6+ yards. Sacked by Armstead. Maybe it was hard to see in there. Purdy scrambled. It was man coverage blitz. So everybody had their back to the quarterback. It would have been a sack. But Purdy, he's got to keep going with the play. He takes off for 15 yards because, it was just wide open because the defenders that were covering all had their back because they blitzed. So it's kind of a cover 0 blitz or a cover 1 blitz. IU curl route 8 yards. Nice pressure Armstead again. Back-to-back plays by Armstead. Trey and the twos come in. Cleveland would have had a sack. Yeah, I thought the second team period for Trey was bad. Trey rolled out, but was too late. Cleveland would have had him. So 2 huge plays by Cleveland Farrell today. Mason, 4 yards. Dre, him and hit. Dre Greenlaw and Jordan Mason just freaking boom. Maybe probably the biggest hit at camp so far. And I don't know who was hitting who. It's like what happens when an immovable object hits an unstoppable force. That's what it was. And so they hit, and I was like, oh, like everybody kind of tensed up because it was such a huge collision, which they're very similar players, body styles, everything, just different positions. The whole team just like, whoom, sucked into it because everybody thought they were going to fight. It was such a big hit. But both of them just pow. And then they like both started hugging each other. They were like, friend. Like no bad blood between these guys, which everybody was like, oh, this is it. And the crowd even was like, uh-oh. But no, they hugged each other and both walked away smiling because it was like game recognizes game. Like, oh, that is a very violent individual that I just hit. And I am also very violent. It was really cool. It was really, really cool moment. Next up, check down to Braden Willis. Trey started holding the ball too long. That whole, 2 out of 3 plays that he got out there with the twos, I was like, man, those are reminded me of old Trey, which hasn't been happening. Like, he's been quick with the ball. This was just a bad 3-play series for him, I think. Then Allen comes out. TDP got a tackle for loss. D Winners started getting some snaps. Love seeing that. He got a tackle for loss. He was flying around, man. Sacked by Daryl Johnson, who's had back-to-back good days. Defensive end. Willis on an out route for 5 yards on the sideline. Nice catch. He's got some good hands. Brock comes back in with the ones. Up the middle 3 yards. Hargrave double teamed all day. I just kept like adding that. Kittle out route, 12 plus yards. Perfect ball from Brock Purdy. Probably his best pass of the day. Let's see here. Next up, let's see. Darnold comes in and they break the huddle. The play call was wrong. I don't know. There was miscommunication. Shanahan was pissed, so I assumed it was on Sam Darnold, which that's kind of Darnold's thing. He's behind on the playbook, not because he's not learning it, just because he's new, right? Brock's been there 2 years. Trey's been there 3 years. That's what it is. But so they break. They all go out there. Something's wrong. Shanahan's doing Shanahan stuff, talking like an Italian, makes them rehuddle and all that stuff and whatever else. So I thought that was important. TDP then goes out there. Would have been probably a huge run. Could have been an arm tackle, but it seemed like he was going to break it. Tay Martin, quick out and empty. Darnold always looks good late. That's what I put in my notes. I thought that was good. Then Jake Moody goes out there and kicks some field goals. During that time, I finished some notes. I even wrote, I got tagged in videos about Jake Moody making these kicks. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. I said, Moody, who cares? Like, I was like, man, I'm not breaking down kicker stuff in training camp. I know the video probably would have got a lot of whatever, but I was just like, man, I don't give a damn. Like, which I know I should care, but I'm sorry. He's kicking a damn field goal. Awesome. I'm sure he's amazing. Me and Wayne will argue on that tomorrow. Then let's finish this up so I can go get my son. Then they come back out and they do red zone, which as a coach was my favorite period. My favorite thing. So you do team, but you move the ball down inside, inside the 20. And it wasn't like a move the ball. It was weird because they had like the down marker, but they had a pre-scripted what they wanted to work on. So what happens is the coach will like send a sheet of plays. Like I want 1st and 8. I want 3rd and 5 from the left hash. I want 2nd and 12 from the right hash. And so it doesn't track as far as like 1st, 2nd, 3rd down, even though they're working on that. So anyway, I'm going to share what was scripted by the down marker. So hopefully that'll help. Brock goes out there first, 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line. TDP check down 5 yards. That was Brock's third read. And I was super excited about that because it was boom, it was boom, it was boom. And I was like, there's Brock I know. That's the Brock I know. Then 2nd and 6 again. The 2nd and 6 is not predicated on what happened the previous play. There were downs and distances Shanahan wanted to work that were scripted beforehand. So whatever. Incomplete, perfect protection and coverage thrown out of the back of the end zone. It was coverage. It was awesome. 3rd and 6, touchdown to Debo, cleared out by Danny Gray. I thought this was awesome. Danny Gray, his best attribute isn't catching the ball, which sounds bad as a receiver, right? But Debo doesn't score the touchdown without Danny Gray. So Debo was out wide. Danny Gray was inside. And Danny Gray ran a corner route and just cleared everything. He took the linebacker and the safety with him. And Debo just quick, not even a slant really, just like jab step and crosser route came right underneath. So it's a glorified rub route without contact, but it's the same kind of core principle there. But I mean, yeah, it was just a perfect play call is what it was. Then Lance comes in 1st and 10 from the 12. Mason 6-yard gain up the middle. God, Mason's so good. 2nd and 6. Coletto quick out for 4 yards. It would have been a touchdown, but like it was just kind of that quick arrow route from the fullback position that Kyle Juszczyk always does, where he just goes straight to the flats. Perfect pass. He cuts upfield, would have kind of fallen forward into the end zone, but no contact. So then they put it back 3rd and 6, and that's when I was like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Out pass to Dwelly, hit him in the chest. Perfect pass. And Dwelly not only dropped it, he turns around, and the ball hits him. Not a laser ball or whatever. It was perfectly, but he does this. And so he kind of tossed it up in the air. It could have been a pick 6 easy. So it was a drop pass on 3rd and 6, but also it was an out route. It could have been a pick 6 easy. I was very upset at that moment. Let's see here. Next up, TDP toss for 3 yards. Then they go Darnold, 2nd and 4 to start with the twos. Like, again, it's getting weird. Latu dropped easy pass, almost pick 6. Terrible. Oh, I was incorrect. I'm so wrong. The out route to Dwelly was just a plain drop. That's not the one that was tossed up in the air. And this is why I write stuff down. It was the Latu pass 2 plays later. Dropped easy pass, almost pick 6. Terrible with lots of exclamation points. That was when I was mad. I apologize to Duct Tape Dwelly and his family. Send your hate mail to Cameron Latu. Next up, 3rd and 4. D Winters almost had a pick. He made some plays. First reps with team that he's been getting. He popped off. Brock comes back out, and this is the last series to end practice. 0-yard run. T.Y. McGill stuffed it up the middle. Jawan James, touchdown, baby. Perfect pass on a corner route. And Vicky, who I mentioned earlier, said, man, where's Jawan Jennings? And then the very next play, touchdown. Mason, 5-yard gain. And then the last play of camp, incomplete Marcelino McCrary ball, pass breakup in the end zone. So that is, boom, there it is. The John Chapman notebook, baby, which was a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Now, I asked yesterday, like, if people like this, and I think I got maybe 15 to 20 emails and DMs saying, yes, I loved it. So thank you. I really appreciate that. And I want to keep those things going. Thank you, David. Let's see here. Who are they keeping for the offensive line? I think you're starting 5. Matt Pryor's making this roster no matter what. John Feliciano's making this roster no matter what. After that, I don't know. Jalen Moore, I would have assumed would be the guy because you want to keep 8. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. And I don't think that we have seen the correct, I don't know how to say this. I don't know if we've seen anybody separate themselves yet. Depster, didn't Moody hit a 60-yarder? Yeah, that's what they're saying. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. He's got a leg. I get that, but yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not a kicker guy. Not that I'm not a kicker guy. I'm not. That's not what it is at all. It just, we'll see. Zane Gonzalez has looked absolutely incredible. And I understand that everybody loves Jake Moody. Zane Gonzalez hasn't missed. He has not missed. And he's free. Anyway. There we go. Seymour Buttsy says the John Chapman diary. There we go. I like that. I like that. Anyway, man, you guys are incredible. Hopefully this was fun. So tomorrow, 10 a.m., John and Wayne show right here on this channel. Come check us out. No training camp tomorrow, so be a little bit of a half day off a little bit. But that's going to do it for us today. Hopefully you enjoyed this. And I know I sure did. I really do appreciate having these conversations, and I understand that you see tweets, and I'm probably guilty of this. That's like, so-and-so had a bad day. So-and-so was great. And so hopefully tracking all this stuff, I don't know, provides better commentary and understanding to what is happening out there on a daily basis. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Man, I freaking love this job. Thank you guys. And until next time, stay strong, faithful.